I don't know if you guys can relate.
Nope.
But I need help. Oh,
This is over.
YouTube.com/how.
Who can relate?
I'm gonna guess this is from a woman talking about her boyfriend.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys can relate, but I need help. See, I'm with my boyfriend, and we have been together for a year. Obviously, he has friends before me, and I am not one to take him away from them. I'm cool with him chilling with them whenever. The thing is, there is this one girl he hangs with, and she is taken too, but I can always hear this vibe from her. I'm gonna assume she meant get this vibe from her. She sort of flirts with him, and he told me that they even talk about sex. This is where I drew the line and told him it's not cool. He said I'm overreacting. I said I don't talk about sex with anyone else, but he talks with her. I don't like it, and I think she is trying to get somewhere with him. I don't know what to do to make him understand how I feel. So, you can find us at youtube.com/ Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it, all right? Talking about sex is fine. No, I mean, if he's saying you're overreacting and, like, placing the blame on you, I feel like it means a little something to him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we talk about sex, it's exciting, and, like, she's in a relationship, I'm in a relationship, and...
But, you know, one day, all the stuff that we talk about might happen.
Right, it's like mutually assured destruction, so if we fuck each other, no one can tell, because then...
Yeah, because we fuck both each other's lives up.
Exactly, and no one wants that.
Shit.
I mean, I can't relate to it, right, because I've never had a boyfriend.
You haven't?
One day maybe,
What?
with the right guy and all that shit. I feel like we've all been in that situation where like you're jealous of like this.
Yeah.
Especially when you're older, like you have you've both lived lives. You know, you both like had a relationship with other people. So there's always gonna be that one person they're like, oh, a lot closer with because they've known each other for so fucking long.
Right.
That part doesn't really apply to this question because it seems like they just started talking and they just hit it off, flirting and all that crap like that. Damn, this one's hard because you've been together for a year. I would just, draw your line. Draw your line, and as soon as it's crossed, end it.
Yeah.
End it, because it's never gonna, like, as soon as the line's crossed, it's just gonna keep going further and further. It's never gonna go back on the line.
Yeah.
So I would say just do that. Because the whole flirting shit, talking about sex, it's gonna lead to something. That's why shit happens like that. Like that, those are the signs. Like, every guy and girl knows, like, oh, we're joking about this kind of shit. Eventually, it's gonna get like a little realer.
Right.
And we fucking hardcore.
You can follow us at youtube.com/how do I know you. No, but I agree with what you said about drawing the line and everything like that. Because in a relationship and shit like that, once you set that boundary, if this person says they're still gonna cross it and everything like that, then they don't value this shit like I value it. Or it could be like I said, your standards don't match up with theirs, so don't do it, right? However, on the aspect of like the conversations and things like that, I will say this: we all have to realize that we're all also adults. I don't know how old these people are, but like we have adult conversations and everything like that. So I look at it like this: if they talk about sex, right? How is that any different between like me and you talking about sex, me and like someone in my family talking about sex or whatever, right? The only difference is because she's a girl, he's a guy, and everything like that, right?
Right.
The adult part of it is if you have like friends and big groups of friends or whatever, and you like value the relationship and value like the actual friendship and everything like that, this happens because you guys are friends and you would have that conversation, right? So on the aspect of that, I understand it because it's a normal conversation. Maybe not normal for her, but it's like for people, if that's their friendship and that's like how they talk around each other and talk about like sex and shit like that and talk about like stupid stuff, then that's them. So that aspect of it, I feel like we gotta kind of relax on that because it's a conversation. Like if it's like, it all depends on the conversation. If it's literally like, oh, when I'm fucking my girl, I'm piping her down and she's doing all this, like she be choking on my shit and everything like that. That's flirty. because like you're doing all this shit, like you're like showcasing what you do and everything like that, right?
Kind of advertising.
You're advertising. And same thing if she's like, oh, like my man, he can barely handle this. It's so wet and like all this shit. You're flirting because it's like I don't need to know that. You know what I mean? I don't need to know any part of that, right?
I want to.
Cool.
I don't need to know.
I don't need to know it, right? However, if it's a conversation like oh, like freaking, I don't like, you know, they're having a regular like conversation about like stuff or whatever, and then it ends up going to sex, and it's like, I hate it when dudes are just like they just think that they can just shove it in and everything like that. It's a regular conversation. It has nothing to do with like them as people. They're just talking about. Well, the topic went to sex. They're sharing like bad experiences. There you go, right? And so, like, I'm just saying, like, look at the conversations too, and just be aware of like what's going on because we get it. Like, you know, I feel like everyone understands like when there's flirting and when there's like just like it's just a conversation about shit. So that's what I would say. Like, really try to decipher what's being said. If you just don't like anything talked about like your boyfriend that's like inappropriate or whatever, then like I said, then just leave because
then it might be a jealousy issue on your part, like a very illogical one,
right?
So that's kind of like a thing you have to work on yourself. I will say too, a little thought experiment: if it is just the whole like talking about sex thing, if they're talking about sex with like, let's say, if it's not a girl, if it's like a gay guy.
Yeah.
Do you still feel the same way? Like, oh, I don't want, like, this is, you know, he's, like, the gay guy is trying to get at my boyfriend or whatever, shit like that and crap like that. If you still feel as angry and, like, why are they doing this shit, then maybe it's really not about, like, it being a girl.
Right.
And it's just, like, I don't like the way he talks about it.
Talks about it or talks about it with like, other people.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, so that's what I'm saying. So, but, like, if it is what I kind of think it is, which is, like, they're talking about, like sexual shit with each other, like involving each other, then yeah, that's like a super line cross. And if you've told him and he's like, you overreacting, like this is what we do and everything like that, fuck that. You're gonna have a horrible time trying to make this shit work, and he probably don't care and everything. Get the fuck out of there, like, cause that's awful. Like, what the fuck? That's not shit to joke about. You know, like, you shouldn't go to your girlfriends or be like, yeah, man, you need to stop pounding your ass out. You need to stop playing, girl. And then, like, your girl's like, what the fuck?
And your tongue just keeps going.
And it just kind of goes towards her crotch.
It goes to the floor and crawls over like a snake. You make the floating vagina blush.
Oh, it's so long.
Now, I could, like, speak from a little personal experience about this shit. Like, anytime someone brought up sex around me, it would legit just be, like, a conversation about, like, their questions, and I'm just like, oh, shit. Like, they have, like, I don't know. It's, like, for whatever reason, people like to treat me like a fucking therapist, and I'll just be like, oh, shit, damn. And I'd be like, maybe try this, maybe do that, whatever, crap like that. I will say one of my exes, I guess, we had this classmate. He was gay, and I was cool with him. He was a cool dude and everything. I guess one day her and him were hanging out, and he was trying to talk about like me and her sex life.
Yeah, see, that's weird.
Yeah, like he was trying to like get information, whatever, like shit like that, and she shut it down like real quick. And after that, when she told me, at first I didn't really get it. I was just like, oh, okay, like I don't like what does that mean? And she told me, she was like, oh, he's trying to like get at you, basically, like trying to figure stuff about you to get at you and shit like that. I was just like, oh. So after she told me that, I was just like, okay, I'll never talk to him about that kind of stuff if we ever talk at all. Yeah. Shit like that. Because I was just like, if my girl has a problem with you, like, I'm not trying to have problems with my girl, so you're not fucking worth it. Peace out. Right. Kind of thing. So, but again, that's everyone's different. Right. Because if that person said, like, if I were to say, like, oh, you're overacting, he's not going to do nothing, shit like that. That could be like misconstrued as like you're telling your significant other like I'm gonna see where this goes. Like, I'm gonna just keep pushing the line. Yeah, or also again you set yourself up for the whole like, all right, now you can't be a double standard type person because when she tells you about this shit, you can't be like, oh, what? Like, nah, well, who is this? Like, nah, why are you talking about that? Yeah, nah, because you said it was cool when old boy was doing it, so it's cool now when whoever's doing it to her. So that's
That's the big thing. And then that's what I was talking about too, because from personal experience, I've had girls that I'm cool with, and they'll talk, like, we'll talk about sex and shit. So I'm like, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, okay. Like, you know, it's a regular conversation. It's not like, it's like, so, like, I was trying to figure out, like, when you be picking a girl up, and it's like, what? Why'd you just put that with me?
When you are picking me up,
no, but it's never been like that. It's always been like shit where it's like, oh, this and that, and like they'll tell stories. It's funny. And it's like, okay, cool, but yeah,
it's very mechanical, basically.
Yeah, if it was ever some shit where it was like, oh, this is like clearly like either she or or we're both angling kind of towards like.
So I'm sitting like this with my legs crossed like that, and then he's right here. Look, actually, let me position you right where he's at.
Okay,
all right, okay, yeah. Thanks for this. I really need a visual. I can't really give advice without visually.
So do you see how like kind of if I just kind of thrust a little, right? You feel something, right?
So if you put your hand here, maybe you could guide him.
Right. That's what I was trying to tell him to do. Right. I was trying to tell the homie do that to her, right? But then this nigga, you know what I'm saying, he start going deeper. You just thrusting. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I feel. It's just the whole conversation is simulating sex, and they're just having sex, but like in a conversation format.
And then you come, you're like, oh, and then. Ooh.
Why are we talking?
And then, what just happened? I need to. Why am I all sweaty? And oh my god, it happened again.
These conversations.
Oh my god, it always leads to sex and then immediate amnesia.
That's a wild ass conversation. Just like mid convo, just being like, yeah, so like, yeah, oh shit, oh, I'm about to nut. She's like, oh, okay, wait, what?
One person out there like always has like vivid hallucinations of like, wait, I did fuck her. Why don't I remember any of it?
We were just talking.
Yeah. Why does it always lead to the sex? No one wants to get to know the real me.
I'm so irresistible. My conversations lead to sex.
All these women want from me is conversation.
Never real sex.
Oh man, but yeah, that's it for the questions. I mean, hopefully we answered all your questions. Hopefully it leads to great things in your life, great highs, all shit like that.
Hit them with the plizzers.
You can find us at youtube.com/howdoiknowyou. You could please subscribe, like, comment, all that shit there. It helps us out. You could follow us at HDIKY1 on Twitter and Instagram, and right there, if you want to send in any questions. DM us if you want to stay anonymous. If you don't give a shit, put it in the comments. And remember, there's no dumb answers. I mean, fuck, I messed up my own thing.
Yeah.
I messed it up, and we're not going to edit it because, we're real here, and mistakes happen. Remember, there are no dumb questions, only dumb answers. And you can find my personal ones at MrLucky005.
And my personal Twitter at DCJunior13. And my personal Instagram at DCJuniorBFSB. However, like we always say, if I don't know and you don't know,
who really knows?
And how do I know you? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Check us out on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcast, I think.
It's everywhere you can listen to podcasts.
Anywhere you can listen to podcasts. We're all there. Leave reviews, good comments, share the podcast with everybody that you know, friend or foe. Other than that, let's go.